to do. I'll call you tonight, I'll call you in the morning. I wanna call you all the time, till the day is dawning. Oh, I feel you here with me. Oh, and I know it's right. I'm gonna take you away, show you the world. It takes me a lifetime to find you diamonds and pearls. I'll show you a love sublime, take you up higher, can't get you out of my mind. You're my princess of fire.
So welcome viewers again. We are on our way to the Ginny Wing at Hanbury to do BCM Hanbury pizzas tonight. Normally do it on the second Thursday of every month, but they asked me to cover this week, which is the second from last Thursday of the month. So there we go. But what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to run a wattage test on the Effeuno P234 double deck electric pizza oven, just so that we can establish how much power it draws for each element. So there's 3 elements on that oven, whereas on the old Luigi ovens there's 2 elements, a lower one under the pizza stone and a higher one in the top, but this one has a lower deck under the first stone element. It's then got a middle element which is above the lower compartment but underneath the second biscotto stone, and then you've got the upper level, so you've got 3 elements. So although the oven is rated for 2,650 watts, and each element I think is 800 to 900 watt rated, I'm estimating it might well pull, irrelevant of the temperature setting, as long as you've turned it up of 0, it might pull maximum wattage per element until it gets up to the thermostatic temperature, then it will just drop off. So it'd be interesting to see that. So I'll probably run like a bit of a time lapse once we set it up, and then we'll do a little bit of pizza making footage as well as we go. So let's check that out when we get there. So just got to get the oven set up, so I'm just going to fire this on. I've just got it set on kind of just above 150 on each of them, just to start the elements warming up. As I say, I don't know if that's going to, we've got the lights on and the inside lights are on. Don't know if that's going to make much difference, but let's go and have a look at the wattage meter. So there we go. Do you see that? It's a bit blown out. Well, there we go. 2,982 watts. So just under 1,000 watts per element, because obviously all 3 are on and warming up. So it's not dependent on where the thermostat dial is as to how many watts the element pulls. It will pull the maximum amount of watts for that element until it gets to the thermostat setting, and then it will just shut the element down a little bit. So we'll leave that going on a time lapse, and we'll see how that fares as it warms up. So Mike didn't pick up on this, but basically all 3 elements had warmed up and the lights had gone off. So that 65 watts was just literally the internal lights being powered, which is probably like 30 watts per light bulb. So I'm just turning up a couple of the elements now, just so we can see that is now, I must have just turned up the middle element, so that's about 1,000 watts plus the light bulbs. Yeah, just over 1,000, 1,130 watts. And then I'll turn that one up. I normally run the top 2 at what I call 6 o'clock, which is sort of around about 350 watts 350 degrees C on the dial, and I run the bottom element at what I call 3 o'clock, which is just above 150 degrees C. Now those temperatures are determined by the air temperature probes, which is in line with where the lights are. It's not the actual stone temperature, so I use a digital thermometer gauge, and I'm just testing the stone temperatures now, and I normally run when the middle of the stones get to between sort of 390 and 400 degrees. That's probably what I'm just explaining now. So again, mic, I think the batteries were a bit low, so I didn't pick the audio up for some reason, but I'm just going to show you now how I open the dough, and that's not just taking the lid off the box. What I mean by that is when the dough balls are nice and plump and proved like they are now, I utilise semolina, which is the bowl with the yellow stuff in, which is a lot better to use than flour. It helps the crust crisp up a little bit, but it also acts a little bit more like ball bearings on the surface that you're prepping your dough on, rather than flour that can kind of get a bit claggy. So I'm just going to show you how I use a spatula to get the dough out, and then show you what we call opening the dough. A good friend of mine, Vitaly, showed me how to do this, just to speed up service when you get busy, rather than having to get a box of dough. Get your spatula, get your semolina, get the dough out, and then start stretching. You can literally just handle the dough straight away because it's covered in semolina. So I just put semolina down the lines where they're joined and around the edges and the side of the box. And then once you get your spatula, which I'll show you now, just going around the edge of the box. Because what you don't want to do is put the spatula in between the grooves or down the side and it sticks to the dough, and then you pull it and it just pulls your dough, makes a mess of it. So just break the seal around the edge all the way around. And then what we do is we go down in between each join, and then just give them a little bit of a waggle. It gives them a bit of space in between each dough. You've already put a bit of semolina down, so that will fall down between the cracks and kind of help when you get to the next stage, once we've separated these. This is all part of preparation if you get somewhere and you've got a bit of time on your hand. So now put the spatula in the groove, put a bit more semolina down in between and towards the edge by the side you're going to push under. You scrape underneath, lift your dough up, and then you put your dough face down, so top side down into the semolina, and then you cover the bottom with semolina. And then when you take your dough ball out onto your surface, you can then just push the middle of the dough out with your 3 fingers, work from the edge, leave about 1 centimetre or so from the edge of the dough, and just push the air out from the middle to the other side. And that is all that you do to open the dough. That would be the stage that we'd then start to hand stretch, but we don't want to do that at this point. All we're going to do is get all 6 of them. We'll do that, and then they can all go back in the box. They're already coated with semolina, so you can just get them straight out. So as you can see, that was nice and quick, obviously sped up, just to show you the process of opening the dough out, putting them back in once they're coated, and then you can just get them straight out with your hand into the semolina again, just if they need it, especially if it's been a bit of a warm day. And then you can get straight into hand stretching your dough, ready to make your pizzas. Okay, so I'm just going to do a quick couple of pizzas. I've got an order for a margarita. I keep whacking this board and it's rattling the camera, but so straight out the box, and then you're straight into hand stretching the dough, which just makes it a lot easier. And that's the margarita stretched, and the other customer likes the Pinsa Romana bases, which are a part baked Roman style base. So I've got one of those just to the side there as well. So let's get the sauce on. I like my sauce to be a little bit textured, so I hand blitz my Italian tomatoes to give it some nice chunk, and I like to use a diced mozzarella because it's just a lot easier for topping. It's usually like a good handful tops of pizza. So on this pincer we've got chicken chorizo and a red onion going on. And then a bit of chorizo. I'll be with you in a second. I'm just doing a quick video, so I'm just talking to the camera at the minute, but I'll take your order in a sec. And then a bit of barbecue drizzle. And then we can get those in. So we've got a launching peel to launch them. And then a turning peel for turning. So a launching peel has the holes into it, lets a lot of the flour out. You don't want to get too much flour on the board. And a turning peel similarly has holes. Stop it getting too hot and bending, and then you can use that for turning. Okay, so back at the pizza. So we've got the Pinsa Romana on the top, which is nearly done because these are a part baked base. You can see the base looking nice. Give it a quick turn. Get the box ready. And get that one out. Steaming. Give the other one a quick turn. So that's a nice bit of colour on the bottom. See that there. Colouring up all right. So one Medina Pinsa Romana. You see a slight difference, slightly more pillowy dough, not as thin. Obviously that's a lot thinner in the middle and a nice crust as well. So let's get those out. So we've just finished up at BCM Hambury at the Ginny Wing. Did about 21 pizzas in the end from 5:30 to 7:30. Bit of a steady evening. So hopefully you kind of got the gist of the wattage test on the Effeuno pizza oven. At one point I don't think I'd paired the mic properly, so I'm kind of talking away and I don't think the sound's coming through, but we'll try and check that out. If it hasn't, you'll have already seen that bit, and I'll just have to have done a voiceover. But hope you enjoyed the video, a little bit of a shorter one this week. I just wanted to show obviously how much power watts wise the Effeuno pulls compared to the test that we did a few videos back on the old Luigi pizza oven. And hope any avid pizza makers or whatever find the little bit useful about oops, just lost a dough tray in the back there. Liked the bit about using the semolina, getting the dough out the tray and just opening the dough ball up so that it's ready to just get out the tray by hand when you're ready to serve, and sort of stretch the dough. It just makes service a lot quicker if you're in a busy environment, and it's just a habit that I've kind of got into. It does make it easy when you've got customers coming up and they're wanting to place an order and wanting to pay. It just means you can get straight into stretching the dough out a lot quicker than having to get each dough out of the dough tray with the semolina and the spatula and everything. it's just a lot quicker. You can grab 2 at a time. You know, if you're doing 2, you can just go in 1, 2. So much quicker. So a great little tip there. So hope you enjoyed the video. Give me a like and a subscribe and a thumbs up, and we'll see you on the next one.